What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, oh boy, we're coming back to Weird Al Yankovic. Yes, indeed, Weird Al fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bob, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Ian Franks, and Ian wanted to see me react to this song by Weird Al Yankovic called Pretty Fly For A Rabbi.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I haven't heard this. I've heard the original song that the parody is based on. I believe that is Pretty Fly For A White Guy by The Offspring, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what this song is a parody of. Nice play on the title. I've already got to give a thumbs up for the play on the title, man. I'm already digging that. But this particular song, Weird Al Yankovic's Pretty Fly For A Rabbi, no, I have not heard that. At least not that I'm aware of. Now, there's a possibility that I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by Al Yankovic, all one word. Yeah, there it is. And the video has 385,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Pretty Fly For A Rabbi. Parody of Pretty Fly For A White Guy by Offspring. Yeah, I had a feeling. Interesting artwork. Running with scissors. Okay, that. I don't put anything past Weird Al Yankovic. I just don't. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Verin so fundira blinsa.
How you doing, Bernie? Oy vey, oy vey. How you doing, Bernie? Oy vey, oy vey. How you doing, Bernie? Oy vey, oy vey.
And all the goyim say I'm pretty fly for a rabbi.
Our temples had a fair share of rabbis in the past, but most of them were nudniks and none of them would last. But our new guy's real kosher, I think he'll do the trick. I tell you, he's to die for, he really knows his stick. So how about you? Have you seen this Jew? Reads the Torah, does his own accounting too. Working like a dog at the synagogue. He's there all day, he's there all day. Just say they and schmear, and he'll kick into gear. He'll bring you lots of cheer and maybe bagels with some schmear. Just grab your yarmulke and hey, do that Hebrew thing.
How you doing, Bernie?
Oy vey, oy vey.
How you doing, Bernie?
Oy vey, oy vey.
How you doing, Bernie?
Oy vey, oy vey.
And all the goyim say I'm pretty fly.
For a rabbi.
He shouts at
God. Oh boy. Oh This is walking such a fine line. It really is. I could see how, okay. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out, and please hear me out, and don't jump to conclusions with what I'm going to say. I could see how a lot of people could take this song and listen to it and get all bent out of shape. I can see their point of view, okay? I can see how a lot of people could hear this song and be just absolutely outraged. I can see that point. I do see that point. Now here's the thing. Do I agree with it? I'm going to say no. I don't, I see it. I do. But I personally, I'm not offended by it. Now then again, I don't follow that faith. So if I did follow that faith, would I be offended by it? I don't know. I personally don't think I would be. I don't think I would be. I don't feel like it's an attack. I'm just saying, I do see the argument that could be made that this is, you know, offensive, or this is an attack on the Jewish religion. I could see it. But here's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to use this, trust me, I have an argument here, okay? And I have a big support for this argument. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Al Yankovic is Jewish, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not saying that makes it excusable. I'm not saying that he gets a pass because of that, but I am going to say this. Look at all the Mel Brooks movies where they made a lot of fun and they poked fun at the Jewish community and the Jewish religion. But he got away with it because for two reasons. One, he himself was Jewish, or still is Jewish. He's still alive. Number two, he didn't just poke fun at the Jewish community. He poked fun at everybody. Nobody was safe from Mel Brooks. Didn't matter what your race was. Didn't matter what the color of your skin was. Doesn't matter what religion you follow. Doesn't matter what political views you might have. Everybody got targeted at some point or another. And I think that's what made Mel Brooks and what he did acceptable. On top of that, it was a different time. It was a different age. Now, does that excuse things? No. But at that point in time, it was more acceptable. Does that make it right? No, not necessarily. But at that point in time, when those mediums were created, it was viewed as acceptable by everybody. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, whenever here comes my wrap up. Whenever Mel Brooks would make fun of a sect, whether it be a religion, a race, a political group, whatever, the funny thing is, the people that he was making fun of usually were the ones that laughed the loudest because it was so absurd. And that's where we come back to this song. It's so over the top. It's so blown out of proportion. It's so overly exaggerated that I'm willing to bet any rabbi with a sense of humor listening to this song is probably going to sit back in his chair and laugh his ass off. He probably is. He's going to listen to this and go, "Oh dear Lord, this is ridiculous." So, can I see people within the Jewish community having a problem with this song? I could see it. I could. But it's so over the top, and it's so well done, and it's so ridiculous that if you're really going to be offended by this, I just got to look at you and say, Dude, lighten up. Lighten up. Just take it for what it's worth. It's a parody. It's fun. It's supposed to be funny. Just take it at face value. Don't go digging deep for sand crabs, you know? You don't need to find sand crabs. You don't need to dig deep to find them. Trust me, they're everywhere, okay? On the beach, I promise you. You go digging, you only got to dig about 6 inches down and you're going to find some. Instead of digging for sand crabs, why don't you just relax, you know, have a nice refreshing adult beverage. Why don't you go on the boat and go fishing for lobsters instead? You know what I mean? Anyway, let's keep going here. This is ridiculous.
Discount stores, not just any will suffice. He has to find a bargain because he won't pay retail price.
Oh,
he
dear
never
Lord.
asks for sugar and he's hardly a schlemiel. But if you want to haggle or he'll make you such a deal. People used to scoff, now they say muzzle tough. He's such a mocker because he works his took us off. Yeah, he keeps his cool and teaches show. What's not to like, what's not to like. But on holy days, you know he praises praise. And he never eats pastrami on white bread with mayonnaise. Put on your yarmulke and hey, do that Hebrew thing.
Wow.
When he's doing a bar mitzvah, now that you shouldn't miss, he'll always schlep on down for a wedding or a bris. They say he's got a lot of chutzpah, he's really quite hip. The parents pay the moil and he gets to keep the tip.
Oh, God.
Oy vey, oy vey. How you doing, Bernie? Oy vey, oy vey. How you doing, Bernie?
Why would you want to keep the tip?
Oy vey.
Mecha lecha hi, mecha charlie ho.
You see what I mean? Stuff like that. You know, you get to keep the tip. Why? Dear Lord. Oh, dear Lord. It's just so over the top, man. It's so ridiculously over the top. And that's how he gets away with it. I'm telling you, that's how he gets away with it. And I don't remember. Now, look, I haven't followed Weird Al closely. I wouldn't even say a casual follower. Every once in a while, I'll glance at what he's doing, and that's about it. When this song came out, I don't know. I don't know, and I'm really hoping people could tell me. When this song came out, was there a huge outrage in the Jewish community? Was there a huge upheaval and a big, like, you know, ban on the song within the Jewish community? I don't know. Was there? I mean, there may be a little controversy, but I mean, was it blown up huge? I'm just curious. I'd like to know, because I would really like to see. I'm really curious to know what the reaction was from the Jewish community. It'd be interesting to see. Let's finish this out, and yeah, we'll get to the review.
He's doing well. I got a smell. The Yantas love him, even Shixers think he's swell. Show him at his home. He says shalom and have some cake. You want some cake? Yeah, he calls the shots. We really love him lots. Oi, give all time so for club that I could plot. So grab your yarmulke. So when you got for Hanukkah, let's put on our yarmulkes and hey, do that Hebrew thing.
Oh my God. Oh, it's just, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and yet it's so well done. It's, yeah. Anyway, all right, let me get my thoughts together. Good Lord. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Weird Al Yankovic with Pretty Fly for a Rabbi. This was a request from Ian Franks. I'm still chuckling over some of those lines. Okay, look. I'm gonna give the score here, okay? I'm gonna say my piece, and then I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to get too deep in this and put myself in a hole I can't possibly climb out of. Let's start with the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that an 8.3. Yep, 8.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
It was so ridiculously over the top. It is, man. It's so ridiculously over the top, and yet so well constructed and so well thought out. Coming up with words and lines that line up and rhyme perfectly, not just with vowels and syllables, but also within the meter. I mean, it's just everything he said lined up from line to line, bar to bar. It was just ridiculous. Very well constructed, very well thought out. Now here's the thing, and I know we talked about this at length, so I don't want to talk about it at length here. We talked about it at length during the course of the reaction. I could see how people could be offended by this. I can see it. And they would be justified. They would be justified in their feelings. But to those people, I just gotta say this: lighten up a little bit. You know what I mean? Number one, it's so ridiculously over the top, very much like Mel Brooks would do with his movies. It was so blown out of proportion that the communities that he was picking on would find the most humor in it. For example, Blazing Saddles. Everybody, I don't know why everybody is so hung up on that movie. And the funny thing is, like, I've watched on YouTube, I've watched many reaction channels, and there's this thing that it's been a fad now for over a year, where reactions are moving away from music and getting into movies. And I've had people on the channel tell me you should do movie reactions. No.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
I spend more time on music reactions just for a 5-minute song. Could you imagine a 2-hour-long movie? The editing process of that? Hell no. Thank you very much. Have a good night. But I've seen and I've watched so many reaction channels of reactors reacting to Blazing Saddles. And the funny thing is, it's so flip-flopped from the expectation. You would think the reaction channels with members of the African American community would be offended by this, right? No, it's so funny. It's the Caucasians. It's the white folks that are having such a hard time with the movie. Oh, this movie is so offensive. Oh God, that would never happen. That would never be gotten away with today. Meanwhile, the reaction channels from the African American community are laughing their heads off and going, "This is ridiculous." And they're also saying, not only is it ridiculous, it's brilliant. It's funny as hell. And I see that approach with this. I could really honestly see the Jewish community listening to this and just laughing, especially rabbis. I could absolutely, if the rabbi has a sense of humor, listening to this and going, "Oh God, is he serious?" But not being offended by it, just being entertained by it. Now, if people want to be offended by this, that's on them. That's their hang-ups. And that's really what it comes down to when it comes to being offended. It really comes down to just personal hang-ups. You know what I mean? It's just funny to me, some of the things that people get offended by. I don't mean to get off topic here, but funny story. One day, and this has happened a few weeks ago. There was a morning I was out running errands, and I just thought to myself, I would like to make somebody smile today. While I'm out, just one person, and I'm gonna do something super simple. And I'm just gonna say, "Good morning." Good morning. That's all I'm gonna say. And I thought maybe that would bring a smile to someone's face, right? I mean, that's my goal. And as I'm running errands, I'm going into the grocery store, and I passed by this lady pushing a cart. And I just looked at her and I said, "Good morning, ma'am." And I kid you not, she turned her head, looked at me, and she said, "Mind your own business." I'm like, all I said was good morning. You know, I don't understand human beings these days. I really don't. But in any case, like I said, I could see people getting offended, but hopefully they don't, and hopefully they take this in stride, much like a Mel Brooks movie. I thought it was very entertaining to listen to. I thought it was very well done, very well thought out lyrically. I didn't catch everything. I only caught like maybe 25 to maybe 20 to 25% of the lyrics I actually caught. I'm not a lyrics guy, guys. I'm not. I don't really pay attention to lyrics because lyrics usually go over my head. But there were a few things that stuck out and I heard, I was like, oh, dear Lord. Oh, okay, cool. Listen, there's nothing wrong with creating a little controversy. There's not. You know, I think controversy is a good thing. Eric Bischoff said it best. Controversy creates cash. I'll bet you this was a big hit for him. I wonder if it was. Now, I do have a question, and I'm going to put this out there for the commenters, and I want you guys to be honest with me. 2 questions. 1, are you a member of the Jewish community? 2, if you are a member of the Jewish community, were you offended by this? I'm really curious to know if there were. And guys, seriously, if you were offended by this, I want you to be honest, and I want you to say you were offended, and I want you to tell me why. If you are a member of the Jewish community and you weren't offended by this at all, I want you to tell me that too, and give me your reasons why. You know what I mean? I would love to know. And I'm not just saying this for just the Jewish community. If you're not in the Jewish community and you were offended by this, I'm really curious to know why. Because it didn't attack you at all. But if you found it offensive, tell me. I would love to know. And if you're like me, you're not a member of the Jewish community, and you just thought this was entertaining as hell, you know, join me and tell me why, you know? I'm really curious. I'm not looking to start a war here. I don't want people getting personal with each other, but I'm really curious to know what you guys think. You know, I really am. No, I thought this was funny. And the reason it was so funny is it was so ridiculously over the top. It was so well executed, and the thought that must have got into the lyrics here, finding the right words to line up both meaning-wise and also within the rhyme scheme and within the meter. I'm just really, really impressed with that. I thought it was a great song. I really do. I know it's a parody. He didn't actually write the music. I get that, but still very well done. And that's why I'm giving it the great score of 8.3. That's where we're at, and that's where we're gonna stay. So 8.3 final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make a difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.